This is Houston with Royalty Exotic Cars. Last weekend I met James, the Stradman at Cars and Copters. We invited him over to the office because he's been in the Jeep world for like, I don't know, 6 months, a year?
Yeah,
something like that. So I thought, what a better guy to take out to Las Vegas desert, Red Rock Canyon, to do some off-roading. So neither of us today really knew where we were going. We just headed out to the mountains and found this awesome trail. So it's been pretty exciting so far. And this is like, we're probably an hour away from Vegas. I mean, maybe a little less.
Probably less, yeah.
Yeah, so today's been really, really exciting so far. So why don't you give us some opinion on what we got going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best thing about Jeeping is that this is kind of how Jeeping goes. You have no plan. You kind of have a general like idea of where you're going to go, and then you find a trail like this.
And you just
like
keep going.
Beautiful locations, yeah. We have no idea where the trail is going, but we're going to go
Like,
find out, and that's
look
half the
over there.
adventure. Yeah, it just goes up forever.
That just goes forever. So we're in new charted territory.
Yeah.
And no one's out here. It's just us.
It's just us.
So today's been a great day. I mean, these Jeeps, I know they don't look like typical Jeep Nation Jeeps because we built them with a Vegas inspiration, right? We want to be the coolest guys driving down the trail at the same time. So with 35s on 22s, look, they're not going to climb Mount Everest, okay? But out here in Vegas, they're going to get the job done, and you literally will be the coolest guy on the trail.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
I mean, I drive my Jeep everywhere, and like people notice it, but not like this. Like
No.
people are pulling their cameras out left and right, like, what in the world? They just look so mean and aggressive.
Yeah, and not only that, but if you come over here, we've got a full convertible top. So we're all exposed, having a great time with the badass sound system out in the middle of nowhere, relaxing and exploring Vegas. So it looks like we decided to turn around. We went probably, I don't know, 6-7 miles in, and the trail started to get really thin. So we made the call when we found this little nice turnaround place. But I mean, if you guys can look, we're maybe 100 feet up right now. We're kind of getting in some really good off-road trails over here. So something that I never thought existed. I mean, I've lived here my whole life, and I've been to Red Rock 100 times, but never here, let me tell you that. So thanks Mario for finding this spot, and to James for coming out with us.
Yeah, dude, thanks for having me. This is awesome. Unbelievable spot. Who knew?
Yeah, and I mean, to be honest, I mean, and we've been probably 2 hours in. So if we really had it in us to keep going, we probably could go for another 2 hours before, I don't know, I didn't really see a way where it could end. Because the mountains just kept going and going and going. Technical trails here too. So we made it back to the office. Pretty epic adventure we just had. I think we did probably almost 15 miles in just straight desert.
Yeah, it's sick.
Climbing
up the
mountains.
mountain.
Oh my god.
Out there in the middle of nowhere, nobody's around, 100 degrees, it's sick.
Except those
Beautiful.
2 random hikers
Two
that were like
two random girls out of nowhere.
Like,
I still don't know why I didn't talk to them.
We were 6 miles in at least,
yeah.
and they just were walking by. We were like,
hello.
we hadn't seen anybody for hours, and then these girls just come walking by.
Yeah. Crazy.
That's why I thought maybe the trail began again somewhere else. Turned out it didn't, but overall, it couldn't have been better than that. The weather, just a little breeze, it was beautiful. Even those tight little corners that we had, like where we were like literally on the edge of certain death if we made one wrong move, it was exciting.
Oh yeah, it was awesome. It's amazing how there's that place so close by.
I'm telling you, we were 30 minutes outside the city and about an hour and a half in the mountains. It was so cool to be there because I've never been there before, and I was born and raised in Vegas, which is so crazy to me that I've been to Red Rock hundreds of times, and I've never actually seen the back behind Red Rock Canyon until, obviously, I've never had a Jeep like this to go back there. So what's crazy to me is it's like just a little bit of action get you so much fun.
Yeah, and it's so close. It's so accessible for anybody.
So, I did want to ask while we're here, what started the Stradman?
Yeah. So I mean, I think all you guys can probably relate. Love cars. I just love cars.
Well, yeah,
Since before I
loves
can even
cars.
remember. I've just been obsessed with cars my entire life, and I've always loved photographing and filming them as well. So I've always had a camera in hand, and I've just been going to car shows my entire life, trying to see and capture every single car in the world, and it's just turned into something I could have never imagined. I mean, to be able to be a full-time YouTuber that films the coolest cars in the world and gets to go on a Jeep adventure like this with somebody like you, I mean, I would have never even met you if I wasn't, like, that aspect as well is so cool. Like, there's so many cool parts to it.
What I'm kind of referring to is, like, at one point, did it go from a hobby to your career?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, how did you, like, I mean, break the news to your family, like, hey, this is what I'm going to do with my life? I mean,
Yeah.
what did your parents say?
I mean, my parents, they've always been supportive of my dreams. My mom, like, 100% supportive. My dad, he's a CPA, an accountant.
Awesome.
And accountants don't become YouTubers. That's what I always
No.
like. It's not a normal transition. And my background's in accounting as well. And you don't simply transition from accounting to YouTube, but
Probably not.
No,
unless
but-
you're doing YouTube accounting.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But you know, when I first realized you could, you know, actually turn YouTube into somewhat of a business, if you will.
Well-
you know, I have that analytical mind.
What was your first check?
My first check would have been like 4 years ago, and it might have been like a little over $100, let's say, for like 30 days. You know, I only made like 2 cents the first day and like $1.50 the second day, and I got a check for like $100.
And that's when you knew.
That's
you
when
were
I
like,
knew, immediately.
This is my job forever.
Because for me, I just made money doing something that I loved, and so it didn't even feel like work at all.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
100%. Like I said, and I've told you guys this before, this wasn't my dream originally. I
Yeah.
loved cars.
Right.
And I kind of fell into this a little bit because, you know, I was in the right place at the right time, and I capitalized on that opportunity.
you seized the
and that's
you seized the moment,
exactly
yeah.
what you did.
Exactly, yeah,
Right?
exactly.
How many followers did you have in your first month?
Not even 100.
So-
like, yeah.
You made basically $100
Yeah.
from like 100 people watching you.
Yeah.
So that goes to you guys. Think about this. If anybody has a passion, whether it's cars or golf or anything in the world, you can make money at it if you pursue it with probably
Absolutely.
110%.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because, I mean, for me at least, I'm working here 24 hours a day, all day. And if I ever do go home, which I do occasionally, I mean, it's still work over there as well.
Yep.
And I'm
It's
sure
constant.
the
Yeah.
second you leave here and you go back to your hotel room,
Yep.
you're going to edit all this footage.
Exactly. There's so much behind the scenes that people don't see.
That's-
You know, they see the cool glamour stuff, which is awesome, but there's so much behind the scenes, especially when you're first starting out. Like you don't get any glory or whatever. Nobody
course
appreciates you then.
Yeah.
But you have to work so hard to get to this point.
It's crazy because I can attest to this, is that, you know, my whole life I've only dreamed, right? Well, I mean, I guess the past 10 years, because when I first saw a Bugatti Veyron, a lot of my friends were like, oh, that's an ugly car. And I was like, no, that's the best car I've ever seen. I have to have that car.
Yeah.
Like, I literally worked until I got that car. And it's like, I can't tell you how euphoric it feels to grab your dreams
Absolutely.
and experience them.
Absolutely, I can totally relate.
And that's why we do all this content for you guys to see that for, I don't know what, this is $650 for this Jeep. You could go and do exactly what we just did out there in the middle of Las Vegas and experience that on just a regular Saturday, right? With Royalty Exotic Cars and the business that I created, I built in dreams, attainable dreams for every single person, right? So that when the Stradman comes and does this super crazy epic adventure, right? You guys could follow him tomorrow and do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so crazy to me, because people come up to me all the time, and especially at the Cars and Copter show where we met, that everybody's looking and saying, how did you do this? How'd you do that? And why? And I did it because A, I love it, and B, I give this feeling to you and to you and to everybody else that comes through this door. So that's why I always ask, everybody how they feel about what they do, because you give the experience of the Jeeps and all the cars. Yesterday's LaFerrari video, right? I mean, I've seen it. You guys haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
But it gives me goosebumps watching that. And he gets to experience that as work because, you know, that's what we allow him to do. And I think it's amazing to support him. And it's just, I can't thank, you know, James enough for coming out here and just giving us the opportunity to show everybody what we got going on. And it's been just an epic day. And so tomorrow, I think he's going to take out a couple cars, maybe a 720 or an Aventador. What are you thinking?
Man, you guys have so many cars, like, you can't go wrong. Like, just walking in that showroom, and I think somebody just asked what car I was going to take out. I was like, wow. Any one of these cars.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Like, there's so many.
I'm going to drive them all for 1 minute.
Yeah, like the F12, the FF, the 720, the Aventador, the Gallardo, the Performante, like...
Every single car is its own amazing experience.
Exactly, yeah.
So I'm excited because, you know, you drive an Audi R8 right now, and you have a Gallardo, right? Yep. So you already kind of feel what all-wheel drive feels like.
Exactly, yeah.
Right? So if I throw you the keys to maybe an 800 horsepower 720, I think you'll have some fun.
I think I'll probably have some fun. I think I'll have some fun for sure.
All right, guys. I love the quick backstory about James, and I cannot wait to see what he has in store for tomorrow, because I'm kind of giving him the control.
Yeah, it's gonna be
so
fun.
Basically, thanks, James, for coming out.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see you tomorrow.
Awesome, man.
Later.
Thank you.